The storm descended without warning, a furious deluge that swallowed the city's edges. Nabila and her friends, caught in its sudden wrath, sought refuge. Their desperate search led them to a forgotten hotel, a skeletal structure on the city's forgotten outskirts. Its facade was a testament to decay, a monument to abandonment. A profound stillness hung in the air, a silence deeper than the storm's roar. The lobby was empty, save for a single, tarnished key resting on the counter. It bore the number 306. A silent invitation, or perhaps, a silent warning. Nabila took the key, a chill seeping into her fingertips. They ascended the creaking stairs, each step a lament. Room 306 awaited them, its door a dark maw. As the last of them stepped across the threshold, a sudden, violent gust of wind slammed the door shut. The sound echoed, final and absolute. They were inside. The lock clicked with an unnerving precision. A cold dread began to coil in their stomachs. They were no longer seeking shelter, they were ensnared. The air within room 306 was thick, heavy with an unseen presence. The single overhead bulb flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows that seemed to writhe. A chilling draft snaked through the room, though every window was sealed. Then came the scent, subtle at first, then undeniable. A metallic tang, the unmistakable odor of old blood. The illusion of an ordinary hotel room shattered, revealing something far more sinister beneath. A faint scratching began, a rhythmic rasping sound emanating from within the walls. It was the sound of something desperate, or perhaps, something trying to get out. Or in. Nabila glanced at the door, then away, then back again. Each time, it seemed to recede, growing smaller, more distant. The solid wood appeared to warp, its surface rippling like disturbed water. The room itself seemed to breathe, its walls pressing inward. The feeling of entrapment intensified, a suffocating weight. They were not merely in a room, they were in a cage. The scratching grew louder, more insistent. It was no longer a faint whisper but a clawing, tearing sound. The room was alive, and it was not welcoming. Panic began to bloom, a cold flower of fear. Nabila fumbled for her phone, desperate for a connection to the outside world. The screen glowed, but the signal bars were dead, a stark, mocking emptiness. Then, the first scream. A choked, desperate sound from the corner of the room. One of Nabila's friends, pulled backward into the deepening shadows. They vanished without a trace. Another scream, quickly stifled, swallowed by the oppressive silence. The shadows in the room seemed to deepen, to writhe with an unseen hunger. They were not just shadows, they were grasping tendrils. The air grew colder, the scent of blood more potent. Nabila stumbled towards a large, ornate mirror. Its surface was fogged, obscuring her reflection. She wiped it frantically. What stared back was not her own face. It was a grotesque distortion, a twisted, elongated visage. Her friends appeared beside her, their faces contorted into silent, horrifying masks. Their eyes were black pits, their mouths stretched in silent agony. These were not reflections, they were portents. A chilling premonition of their impending doom. The mirror pulsed with a malevolent light. The distorted faces of her friends began to fade, replaced by a swirling vortex of darkness. The room was consuming them, one by one. A primal scream tore from Nabila's throat. She was alone, utterly alone, in the heart of this nightmare. Panic consumed her, a raging inferno in her mind. Escape was her only thought. She lunged for the window, tearing back the heavy drapes. What lay beyond was not the city, not the storm. It was an endless, swirling void, a black abyss that stretched into infinity. The hotel was not merely a building, it was a living, malevolent entity. It controlled its own reality, twisting the very fabric of space. There was no outside. The walls around her began to ripple, to shift. The room itself groaned, a low, guttural sound. The door, once distant, now seemed to press against her. Corridors appeared and vanished, rooms rearranged themselves with silent, terrifying speed. The architecture of the hotel was a fluid, predatory thing. It was designed to trap. Nabila ran, her breath ragged, through hallways that twisted and turned. Each path led back to the same place, the same suffocating room. The hotel was playing with her. It was a cruel game, a slow, agonizing torment. The building itself was a conscious, malevolent force, ensuring her continued imprisonment. There was no escape from its grasp. When dawn finally broke, or what passed for dawn within that cursed place, room 306 was eerily silent. The flickering light had ceased, the chilling draft gone. No trace of struggle remained. The room was pristine, as if nothing had ever happened. Yet, faint whispers lingered, the ghostly echoes of vanished friends. Their voices, thin and ethereal, seemed to emanate from an unknown realm. Room 306 was said to have been locked for decades after that night. A place of legend, whispered about in hushed tones. It was not merely a room, it was a predator. It waited patiently, silently, for new victims. Travelers who strayed too close, who sought refuge from the storm. The hotel, a silent sentinel, always found them. And in the deepest shadows of the city's forgotten edges, the whispers persist. New guests, they murmur, come to room 306. They stay forever.